Roughly from 5 to 8 p.m., Dad and I went to Salvatore's. Though we first went to pick up his friend Bill after we left at 5 p.m., so I think we arrived at Salvatore's around 5:30 p.m. These slices are part of a pizza that we got to go. With crispy chicken and bacon on red sauce. Or marinara. Around 7 p.m., I had a mule, which is essentially ginger beer with vodka mixed in. I was initially told that they had mango-flavored vodka. So I opted for that, since I was excited at the prospect of having mango-flavored vodka mixed in to my mule. But then it turned out it was just a second thing of peach-flavored vodka, so I opted for peach-flavored vodka instead. And it was pretty good. Then sometime later, we got our first pizza, which was just like this one. If I recall, I had a total of 3 slices of that first pizza we got. We split it between me, Dad, and his friend Bill. Then later, Dad's friend Maggie split an order of mozzarella sticks with herself, Dad, and I. And some marinara sauce was split between the 3 of us. And it was all pretty good. That mule was the only alcoholic drink I had while we are at Salvatore's. Being physically at the place from 3:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. roughly. Although, if I recall correctly, we left about 10 minutes later than expected. Because a couple members of Dad's side of the family briefly stopped by around 5 p.m. Not only to deliver a comfy chair, that we have plans to move up to my attic room. But also to be given a tour of the house. I took the opportunity to interact with them by showing them what I've been drawing recently. Although I couldn't directly show them what I'm currently working on, since I tend not to take a picture of the polystring drawings until they're either complete or at least appear complete. But I did show them what I had been recently drawing. And they liked them. Which I'm always glad to hear. I worked on this polystring drawing roughly from the early morning of around 6 p.m. to about 1 p.m. I worked on the knee pads and, by extension, the rest of the front of the jeans first, and then I worked on the scarf part of the face mask. Or the skull mask. I still have some to do on this side, but it just involves some work with an ultrafine black Sharpie marker. It was around 8:45 when I had a slice of leftover apple pie that Dad's mom made. with, I believe, my first cup of coffee for that day. Then 2 hours later, I had some of this, the aged white cheddar Pirate's Booty cheese puffs. At some point in the afternoon, Dad left at around 2 p.m. in order to cash a tax rebate. At least that's what I think it's called. It's part of a program to help homeowners pay off their property taxes. And Dad did some other things too. I recall him getting back sometime between 3:30 p.m. and 4 p.m. And then around 1 p.m., Dad made me some toasted sandwiches. That included, according to my best recollection, some turkey ham, some bologna, and some pepper jack cheese. They were pretty good. Generally, the work I did on the special project to serve as a prop character in the 99th Dan Hamming episode, it was generally pretty low intensity because I spent a good amount of time in the late morning and early afternoon completing province encounters so that I could get this new province expansion and not only be able to move this elven tree gum manufactory out of the area that's supposed to be reserved for settlement buildings, but also be able to move some stuff around so that I would be able to put in another water manifestation and hopefully another earth manifestation. But at the time that I was building the new water manifestation, I had hit the cap of buildings I could either build new or upgrade at the time, so I couldn't really do much at the time of sometime, I think it was around 1:30 p.m. most likely. Yeah, I think for me, the biggest limiting factor when it comes to completing these research technologies for the Elementals chapter, it has to do with mana. That's the biggest limiting factor. I have pretty much none of it. I have a lot of buildings that produce mana. Although I'll be able to complete this research technology right away as soon as I've invested enough knowledge points into it. Yeah, I remember nodding off both on the way to pick up Bill and then on the way back home after we dropped Bill off. At least a little, but thankfully I didn't fall asleep until I got back at Dad's place from Salvatore's.